YouTube squad, Retain Gang, what's good with my people out there? Cheers, everybody. It is my favorite time of day. It's the time of day where I'm not at work. The sun is kind of shining. They're doing various things in the sky today. If you know, you know. Other than that, though, we got the espresso. I woke up feeling just really happy today for no apparent reason, man. It's not always like that. It hasn't exactly been like that for the past few weeks. Been going through a rough patch, you guys, and so that's what I want to talk about in this video. I want to kind of go back to basics here. So I've made multiple videos on this about how semen retention is not about female attraction. And I'll probably make more videos about this because I just see so many videos about that, about the female attraction on semen retention. It's like, yeah, like you stop busting nuts and then you glow and your skin looks better and you have this new masculine energy, and then, you know, your aura is such that you're just magnetizing beautiful women like crazy, and, you know, you got to fight them off you at some point. And if you retain long enough, you're just going to be fighting the girls off you, man. They're going to be just chasing you down in the streets, man. It's not even going to be fun. Oh my God. So anyways, it's just not about that. It's just not about that for me. It's ironic to me that it even becomes that for anybody. It's so not about that for me that I can't help but speak on it. So what it is about, it's about God. It's about getting closer to God. It's a form of repentance for me. Having lived a very self-centered, selfish, lustful, and vain and prideful, slothful type of existence, you know, and when I look back at my life, all of those sins tended to center around my relationship to a woman. You know, I was acting out the most in all of those things generally when I'm regularly smashing. All right, that's when you're like laying around in bed, cuddling, Netflix and chill. That's when I'm more apt to be smoking weed, drinking, taking various substances, sleeping in later than normal, skipping the gym, stuff like that. You know, like things like, it's a slippery slope for me. When women get involved, it is a slippery slope, and it's not even their fault. It's another thing I noticed a lot of channels. I think maybe it's just the way people word stuff, but sometimes I feel like we're getting a little too close to, you know, this idea like women are the weaker vessel, or that like women are here to take us off of our path or something. There's almost like this negative view of women, and I really don't resonate with that at all. I think women are here to actually help us become our most divine, masculine, beautiful, fullest selves. The relationship between the masculine and the feminine, I think, is something that is supposed to give rise to the greatest versions of both the masculine and the feminine. We're here to complement each other and to learn from each other and to inspire each other's growth. So but that's not what tends to happen, is it? Mostly it's the opposite of that. And in my case, it's mostly been the opposite of that. But in a weird, roundabout way, after suffering so much from really just sort of having God on the back burner and making an idol out of my relationship to women, out of sex, out of the validation, the attention, whatever it was, whatever I'm getting out of that, right, becomes an idol that stands in the place of God, right? And it's like that thing now. It's like if that thing were to suddenly be removed from me, which happened, you know, where these girls, I'd find out that they were cheating, or they'd suddenly, you know, reject me, or decide to ignore me, or they do the back and forth love bombing and then ignore me, and then love bomb and ignore me, and just emotionally manipulate me, right? So I've had that experience of like, you have something, and then all of a sudden it's like it's gone, and you're just not okay, and that's a total lack of groundedness in anything substantial and real. And there's nothing more substantial and real than God. So if we're grounded in God fully and totally, God first, you know, not just as an expression, but as a way of life in all your endeavors, right? If that's the way you're living your life, well, then anything can be taken from you physically, and it's not going to be such a huge deal because you're grounded, right? Sort of like if I just take a brick off the top of the Empire State Building, no one's really going to notice. If I remove the foundation of that building, the whole thing's going to fall over. God's the foundation, you guys. And so personally, I've been struggling just with various things more than normal over the past few weeks. Just I told you I got injured my back. My knee's all better. Then I went ahead and hurt my back. Now the back's healing up. Now I got something going on with my shoulder. Just having a lot of physical issues, stuff that's kept me from going to work. Also, I have various jobs, some of which I very much care about. Some of them I don't care so much about, but I care about the people I work with. So I show up really for them. It's about them. It's the only thing that keeps me, and it's the waiting tables gig. Like I love my coworkers genuinely and sincerely. And if I focus on that love, I'm able to do this job and have a pretty decent time and walk away with a chunk of change. And it's whatever. It's like short-term something. Definitely not a long-term goal for me to stay in this industry. But it's important to me though that whatever I'm doing, I'm showing up and I'm being loving and I'm showing up as the best version of myself, and I'm contributing more than I'm detracting from any given situation. That's part of how, for me, that's part of what honoring God looks like in a very real sense. It means not complaining about stuff, not whining, not moaning, not feeling sorry for myself, not making excuses, right? Having gratitude and thanks for whatever it is that's going on in my life, even if it's something that I don't necessarily like an injury or pain. There's the possibility, the capacity that all of us have to take and alchemize these events that we don't like, the negative feelings, the unintended things, take that and turn it into a blessing and find the blessing in it, find the lesson in it, find the teaching, extract that value from that situation. And now you've alchemized something that somebody else would just complain about, and you let that be an excuse for them to do whatever. You turn that into a valuable lesson and you become a better person in the process. That's also putting God first. So the reason I've been having a harder time the last few weeks, I think what really kicked it all off was that I met a girl and we went on a couple dates, and I really, really like her a lot. And I don't like most girls. I'm just going to put it straight. Like I'm very much a heterosexual. Never found myself attracted to a man. Attracted to a lot of women. But like now I'm at this zone, and I don't know if this is retention or this is just me maturing as an individual or what, but I'm in this zone where it's like there's a lot of women out there that I can be like, she's attractive. I'm just not attracted to her. I have no interest in trying to spend time with her. I don't want to go on a date with her. I would rather be alone in my room and play guitar. I just don't want, it just doesn't seem worth it. Like why? What's the point? Unless she's like really like mind-blowingly beautiful and smart and funny and wise and loves God and is equally yoked and has like all the things, unless she's got all that stuff to the point where I'm like, wow, and I got butterflies in my stomach, unless that's the case, zero attention from me. I just don't want to waste my attention or time or energy. But I met somebody, sure enough, she checks all my boxes. I got butterflies. I'm thinking about her more. And next thing I know, and she did nothing wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. She's actually doing a great job of making sure that this is moving very slowly. Nobody's jumping into anything. We're keeping it pretty wholesome. And I think that, we're both, we haven't really discussed this, but I think we're both kind of trying to form more of like a friendship first, even though it's very obvious there's a lot of chemistry and feelings going on. But in any case, this whole thing has been a distraction for me. And even though I haven't, I'm still retaining, I'm still celibate, even just thinking about this stuff has taken my attention away from the main event, which is God. And by doing that, other areas of my life have started to just slip a little bit. Like my room just isn't as clean as it used to be. car's not as clean as it used to be, right? Some mornings I don't make my bed, whereas I was really disciplined with that, getting hurt in the gym, right? This is another, these things are related, because if you go to the gym because you want the girl, or because you're mad at the last girl that hurt you, or you're mad at life, or a lot of people go to the gym for the wrong reasons, because they hate themselves, or they're mad at God, or they're mad at their ex, and it's just, they go there to do physical exercise for emotional reasons, right? And that's a problem. It's just as much of a problem as eating for emotional reasons, right? A lot of people eat because they have emotions they don't like, not because they're actually hungry. A lot of people work out for the same reason, right? Either of those things is going to lead to some sort of consequence down the road. Take it from me. I know it from both angles. So me getting hurt in the gym, it's like, that's a sign. I'm paying attention. I'm like, okay, God, okay, body, I'm listening now. You got my attention through pain. Thank you for that. What's the pain telling me? The pain's telling me, oh, okay, you have put God on the back burner. You're not going into the gym anymore to honor God and give thanks for this body that you have and take ultimate best care of this body because you love it. You're not going there to lift the weights because you love to lift the weights. You're going in there because you want to make sure you look good for the girl. You're going in there because part of you is still pissed at the last girl. Part of you still feels insecure about the last girl. I got stabbed in the back. I got betrayed. I got cheated on real bad. It was a nasty situation, you guys, while we were living together and engaged, and I was paying all her bills. I mean, it was ugly. And just because it was like almost a couple years ago now, just because I'm on retention, just because I'm happy, pretty happy-go-lucky fella, doesn't mean that I don't still carry some of that rage, that anger, that resentment towards that person. And the insecurity that breeds, and that affects the way that I relate now to this new girl that's entered to my life, because now that I'm having feelings, I'm immediately associating them with the betrayal that I expect at any moment, right? So it's like on a physical level, all of that emotional, psychological stuff causes tension in the body. It causes me to act differently, to move differently, and then when you do what I do in the gym and throw super heavy weight overhead, if everything's not very balanced and focused and in order, you're going to notice it. You're going to feel that shit the next day. So I'm learning as I go. I've experienced pain, some suffering, some discomfort, but all of it is a powerful lesson for me. It's a teaching tool, and it's directing me back to basics, back to God, back to, okay, love God. First commandment, love God with all thy heart and soul. Just go back to basics. And just for now, I'm just focusing on that. Just that alone. And I've noticed that meditating on that love, has a way of really kind of fulfilling a lot of other things. It kind of makes you feel fulfilled when you really dive into that. And it lightens the load, So, all right, you guys, that's enough from me for this video. Until next time, keep it real.